As birth rates continue to decline, we're facing potential economic and social challenges that could reshape our future. Now, without a steady birth rate, Canada risks experiencing labor shortages, strained social services, and an aging population that outnumbers the young. These trends not only threaten economic stability, but also affect community support systems and our cultural continuity. So, guys, I'm just curious, we talk a lot about cost of living, and that's something that I really want to speak on here because that's a big reason why, at least on the streeters, we saw people didn't want to have kids. Is a cost of living a factor for you choosing not to have a child now, Dev?
Absolutely. I'm just starting a business now and I just bought a house. So if I wanted to have a kid right now, it'd probably be very difficult right now.
Tight?
Pretty much. But
do you consider yourself making a decent living?
Yeah.
Okay. And Marina?
Yeah, I think I'm also starting my second business, but I mean, if it happened, I know that I would be able to adapt to it and make it work the way I have everything in my life.
And you consider yourself making a decent living?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you were, say, 25, let's say, did you ever think, oh my God, I could never have a child right now. I'm broke. I couldn't afford it.
I think everyone has that fear, but I think there's no right time to have a child. I think when it happens and you adapt to it. Like we're human, we adapt to everything, right? Like you were saying, the point that you were saying.
Yeah, because I definitely wasn't in a position to have a baby, but when I was pregnant, my husband got full-time. He was only part-time working and then he got full-time and everything kind of fell together nicely. And even if it didn't, you find a way to make it work.
No, but it's fair. I mean, you do find a way to make it work. But at the same time, I've heard the saying too, and Deb, you've kind of said this is, well, why am I going to put a child into this world if I can't give them the life that they want?
Absolutely.
Is that fair?
Absolutely. So
all the child wants is just love. That's the number one thing. Sure, things are nice, but
yeah.
What if you're not going to be able to give that love, though? So say you have to work 100-hour work weeks, just be able to afford to even have baby formula, diapers, etc. Say you have a child with somebody and then man or woman, one of the partners moves away or says no, I'm not doing this. And now you're a single parent and still you're not getting the help that you need.
Well, that's why there's a court system where you can get child support and get support from them.
I mean, okay, so no, but that's a fair point. Relationship dynamics have a major play on it.
But what if we die tomorrow? That's the question, right? What if? But if you're working hard and you've built a future and you're successful, I feel like if you have a child, it's not going to stop you. It might just push you to even be more successful.
Mm-hmm. So I actually was speaking to a few people before this episode and I had asked them, and they're very career focused. And I had said, how come you don't have children? And the answers that they were giving me were somewhat similar. I felt like I couldn't give them the love that child would want. Is that not a valid response to say I don't want to have a child, at least right now, or I don't want to have a child ever because I don't think I can give that?
Well, I think the transformation you go through as a new parent with a newborn, the amount of love that just you start to feel it's you can't even really describe it. That's what I've heard. A little human that completely depends on you and its whole world. A newborn baby can't even tell the difference between you and them.
I get it from the perspective of, you don't know if you're going to be able to have the time and everything, because even it's like having a dog essentially, right? You don't have time to walk it 3 times a day, 4 times a day, feed it. But at the end of the day, if you find somebody that you love, then...
What was your view when you didn't want to have kids?
My view is that I never met a man that I felt safe enough to have a child with.
Okay. And from a man's view, I'm curious, what was your view when you didn't want to have kids? Did it have anything to do with relationships with women, how women are?
It had more to do with if I will like that person enough. Do I want to raise a kid with this other partner of mine?
Were you dating them?
Yes or no, exactly. So if I'm not dating them,
then how are you dating somebody if you have no intention of having a child with them? And I think that's the problem that we're having with men these days, is that they want to just date a girl because they look good.
But kids still want to live their life.
I get that.
Right? So get experience, go out, date this person, date that person.
But why date somebody and have a relationship with somebody? Because women, they don't like to just give up their bodies and get into relationships just to get into relationships. But these guys, what happens is, especially in now today's society, is they're dating these women. And then it's like, yeah, you know what? Now I'm going to go to the next person. And it's like, we're dating you because we're looking for marriage. We want to like create offspring.
I think that's like more in like maybe your instance, because I've met like a lot of females. I train a lot of females, and they're not all like that. They're like, I don't date men to marry them. I just want to see what I like, experience it. Some might be on the quiet, especially on the twice.
We got to leave it there. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.